Hi there, and welcome to Book Pals. My name is Janet, and I'll be reading this great book to you today. This is all about fabulous Floyd, the true story of a flamingo who never gave up. Now, this book was written by a dear friend of mine who works at the San Diego Zoo and who has written many children's books about animals at the zoo who have inspirational, interesting, heart-rending stories that you need to know about because they'll make you laugh and cry and everything in between, smile, and you're going to just love these. They're so colorful in every way. Look at the colors on this. Every picture is a feast for the eyes. So let's start. Georgianne Irvine, the author of Fabulous Floyd. So let's begin. Here we go. It all began. You know where it starts. It starts with an egg, of course. And Floyd is the friendliest flamingo at the San Diego Zoo. His life began in an egg laid by his mother on a tall mud nest. Ooh, look at that. And flamingos, interestingly enough, well, they like to congregate and spend some time in the sun. They can live in all kinds of things, lagoons and swamps and shallow lakes, and they can live in fresh or salted water. Yeah, either one. Well, what's really interesting, and you may not even believe this, but it's true, they happen to absolutely love to eat dog kibble with water. Who would have thought that? Now, these are kids, visitors to the San Diego Zoo and adults who've come to visit and feed the animals. You can do the same thing. Get up close and personal with the flamingos, meet Fabulous Floyd, and give him what he loves the most, dog kibble mixed with water. You'll be happy to meet him, and he'll be happy to be eating his kibble and meeting you, of course. Well, let's talk about Fabulous Floyd before he hatched. His egg was taken to the zoo's bird care center, where it was placed in an incubator to keep it warm, and every day keepers held his egg up to a light to see how much Floyd was growing inside of it. This is called candling an egg, and Floyd's egg was candled every single day, until, whoops, there you go. He hatched into that cute little furry bundle of joy, that cutie patootie. Look at him. He broke out of his shell with that great looking beak. Now, there were other chicks that also hatched the same day, so the keepers put little dots on there, like he got a green one, everybody got a different color on their back, so the keepers could tell who was who because pretty much they all look alike, right? So the keepers then took the babies out, took them for walks, got them exercise, and got them used to the people. And what they learned from the start was Floyd loved to be around people more than any of the other flamingos, though they like people too. But Floyd would jump into their laps and wanted to be cuddled and cradled. He loved the keepers just as much as they loved him. They became fast friends, that's for sure. Now look at this. Speaking of fast friends, the keepers, when the babies got a little bit older, you can see Floyd right there, they took them out to meet the rest of the flock, the adults. And the adults kind of at the beginning said, okay, whatever, but then they all became best buddies. But there's more to the story, and it's a little bit scary because as Floyd continued to grow and get taller, he began having trouble standing up straight. And that's never good, which concerned the trainers because flamingos need to have two strong, sturdy legs to survive. They must be able to walk with their flock and wade in the water to eat. They also need to be able to stand on one leg so they can rest the other one, because look at how skinny their legs are. They need to rest them as much as possible, and they need both legs. Here we go, 2 left feet. This can't be good news. The trainers noticed that something was wrong with Floyd's right leg. It was crooked, and his right foot pointed in the same direction as the left one. It looked like Floyd, yes, Floyd had 2 left feet. Oh dear. Well, the zoo veterinarians examined him. They tried to make it stronger with a brace, and they put on maybe, I think they had put on a stretchy elastic tape to straighten his leg, but nothing worked, so they decided he would have to have surgery, though they were afraid because surgery isn't always successful and their legs are so fragile, but surgery it was. And there he is getting all ready for the surgery. Floyd was taken to the zoo hospital, and he sat in the lap of one of the trainers. Once he got to the zoo hospital, he was given medicine to make him go to sleep, and a clear mask was put around his beak to make him breathe easy and stay asleep during the operation. Now, the trainers were very relieved when the surgery was over because Floyd was going to be all right, they thought. But he did need some extra special care while his leg healed. It was hard for Floyd to only stand on his good leg, so they stayed with him all day and night to hold him up. Look at all of that love and care that he got. He loved being around his human friends. He knew that he was being well cared for. But then another, oh my goodness, difficult time for Floyd, because after the surgery, his foot began to swell. His trainers waded into a small pool with him so he could soak his foot in the water to help it heal. Now, it did start to heal. That helped. So as he started getting stronger, the trainers filled the pool with more water to make it deeper. And that way, Floyd could easily dunk his head as well as wash and preen his feathers, which are everyday things. That's the behavior, normal behavior for flamingos. And you can see he was getting better all the time. In fact, the trainers were so happy when Floyd's right leg and foot finally healed. Now he was able to join the other flamingos again. And they can tell he was glad because he was honking and stomping around and flapping his wings, so happy to be reunited with his flock. But then another hiccup. It just never seemed to end for little Floyd. Another hiccup, yeah. Soon after rejoining the flock, the trainers received bad news from the vets. Floyd also needed surgery on his left leg because it had grown crooked too, which you can see right there. So the vets took a CT scan of Floyd's leg, and they could put those pictures up on their computer to find the best way to fix his leg. And during the operation, they straightened the bone and put pins in it. The pins were attached to a round metal frame called a fixator on the outside of Floyd's leg to hold the bone in place while it healed. Take a look at that. He had some really involved surgery there for those skinny legs. But again, there they were, the trainers giving him all the love in the world. The surgery went well, but the vets and trainers knew that Floyd had a big challenge still. He had to get strong again, and it would be weeks before he could join the flock again. But look at this, all the love and care he got. In fact, to help Floyd feel more at home in the zoo hospital, the trainers added those potted plants that you can see right there, his favorite feeding dish, and a mirror to his recovery room, because the mirror made it look like there was more than one flamingo in there with him so he wouldn't be lonely. Oh, look at that, all the love he's getting. Floyd's devoted trainers did whatever it took to help him heal. They were with him morning, noon, and night for the first week and a half. They knew that Floyd was special because none of the other flamingos in the zoo wanted to be held like that. Look at that. He just loved being around them. In fact, he buried his little beak in the arm of the trainer, just like he would do if he was standing on his own. He would bury his beak underneath his wing. So he really trusts those trainers and knows how much they were loving him and caring for him. They were getting so attached to him. Look at this. Whenever Floyd's bandage was changed, the trainers and the vet staff decorated the new one with a different design. Look at that. And look at the pink one he's got right there. He was looking good. He knew he was really getting better and looking good in the process. And in fact, at Floyd, he was such a trooper. As his leg healed, he started standing for short periods of time by using a sling. Can you see that? So the sling was holding him up. That way he didn't have to put any weight on his legs at that point. He also had a very special visitor right there. That's Divine. She was the perfect roommate because she was sweet and easy to get along with. She was from his flock, so they knew each other quite well. He was getting better now day by day, and look at, he was standing on his own. In fact, the trainers knew that he wanted to get well. He was fighting to get well, and he didn't want to waste a day to get back to his friends. Look at this. These trainers were so happy when Floyd took his first few steps on his own because they weren't sure if he'd ever walk again. They actually cried. They were so happy. But before Floyd could be reunited with the flamingo flock, he had to walk on his own all the time. He needed good balance, too. The trainers did not want him knocked over by the other flamingos, who could be at times a little pushy. So he was working to get better, and he was looking at the flock over the fence there, thinking, I'll be ready in no time. I'll be back to my best form before you know it. He couldn't wait to get back to his friends in the flock. And then, lo and behold, look at him, what a handsome man. Finally, after a month, Floyd's second surgery was a success. His left leg was strong enough for him now to rejoin his flamingo friends. Floyd had been through a lot, but he never gave up his fight to get better. Isn't he beautiful? You can see when Floyd was reunited with his flamingo flock, look at that. He was flapping his wings and honking. He couldn't have been happier. He was home again and ready to take on his job of animal ambassador as the friendliest flamingo in the flock. Fabulous Floyd soon became one of the most popular animals in the entire San Diego Zoo, and he continues to be there at the zoo, and he's great with people, and every once in a while he likes to snuggle with his trainers because he knows how much they help him every single day during the time he was getting better and right now.